Hey guys, I have a question. Did Pyramid Head scare the balls off of you, or did Phatalphd rape your body as it dragged you away? I'm DayashaThirsts from Gamerswagger.com. Silent Hill HD review.
Still here, you ain't getting rid of me through all that petty beef that you peddle in the streets. We known to send a heat through mics or better seats. With that yap, we might snap back your peeps. And now they all mad cause I switched up crews, but I'm here to do me, I ain't here to please you. But these dudes abused it, forgot about the music, and now they me mugging, so we throwing up them deuces like, who this? Yeah, forgot about me, or the time we spent pushing all our CDs in the streets. But now we on a new route and dudes gon' say.
Today we're here to talk about Silent Hill HD collection. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I enjoyed every bit of this collection. I knew where every item was. I knew what was gonna happen. I did get scared a couple of times, which made me pause it like a bitch, but it happened. The game itself, it's not a remake. It's just a port, an HD port. They just repolished the graphics and the sound and added very crappy voiceovers to Silent Hill 2. Now you all know I'm a fanboy of Silent Hill. I know a lot of you are probably going to quote that in the comments when you try to tear apart my logic for the voiceovers, but just hear me out for a second. When you're playing Silent Hill 2 for the first time, you have some memorable moments. My memorable moments are, well, Pyramid Head scaring the shit out of me, and the beginning, the first 5 minutes of the game itself, when James is in the mirror and he's talking and then he comes out and then they read an excerpt from Mary's letter. The voice has to sound exactly the way I remember it, or else I'll be turned off by it. Put it this way, if they remade it and had those voices, I'd be content, I'd be fine, I wouldn't care. But since it's the same game with different voices, it kind of threw me off a little bit. Especially since the new voiceovers were louder than the old voiceovers. Kind of like if I was sitting there with a mic like, "Hey James, while the game was playing. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make any sense to me and it didn't really sound right. Needless to say, I turned the fuck off of those voiceovers. The gameplay itself, it's traditional Silent Hill people. It goes back to graphics. Like, a lot of you were expecting the best graphics from next gen capabilities. It's like, you have to understand, it's still a PS2 game. It's still just a port. It's not a remake. It's an HD port. That's all it is. When you're putting the bar that high, it kind of makes you look stupid. You have to understand, it's just a PS2 game. And they just remade it and, well, ported it in HD, which looks really good. If you keep your mind to the standard that it's still a PS2 game, like the Metal Gear HD collection, you'll go, wow, this is a really nice looking PS2 game. It really shines like a next gen game. You would think it'd be able to compete with the newer games that are out, especially like Silent Hill Downpour. It's a shame how Silent Hill 2 and 3 have better graphics than Silent Hill Downpour, which makes zero fucking sense to me, but we won't get into that. The graphics for Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3 are astronomical. They will make you vomit from tears all over your hands. It's just how it is. It looks really good. The sound, spectacular. I'm actually gonna go downstairs and scare the shit out of everybody in my house by turning all the lights off and turning the sound all the way up playing this game. Probably gonna scare the shit out of myself as well, but that's what it'll do. And we have children in the house. Can't wait. The sound is ridiculous. Sometimes you can hear enemies from a far off distance, like 3 blocks away, around the corner in the store, you can hear them because of how clear the sound is. And, well, this is without the voiceovers, because with the voiceovers, I feel like everything is dimmed down and the voices are just skyrocketed. The volume is like ridiculously high. The sound is spectacular. And I couldn't ask for more because Silent Hill is my second favorite series, and they did it well by going back to the roots and just porting this over so I could get achievements and trophies. It's the best thing they could have done, because it seems like all hope is lost for new Silent Hills, like Silent Hill Book of Memories. Come on, what were they thinking? Anyway, what were they thinking? Downpour, I'll put a new review up for Downpour because Downpour really made me sad. Well, I mean, it's good, but it's still kind of like, it's not what I was hoping it would be, but it's still a good game. However, these two games are the games that define the series, because Silent Hill 1 was great. And then if you go from Silent Hill 1 to Silent Hill 2, there's a freaking crazy difference within the gameplay and the graphics and then the storytelling itself. Then you got Silent Hill 3, which upped the bar. Silent Hill 4 and on is like, yeah, which is probably why I think they put 2 and 3 instead of 2, 3, and 4, or 2, 3, and Origins. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what they did with Metal Gear. You see how Metal Gear was Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear 3, and Metal Gear Peace Walker. This one is just 2 and 3, which it could have been 2, 3, and Origins, but I probably wouldn't have played Origins because I loved Origins. I just don't really see the necessary need in playing it all over again. I can just stick it in my PSP and play it. You know, it wouldn't have been a great addition to the series or to the disc itself. I don't know. Could be just me, but then again, I bought the special edition of the Metal Gear HD collection, which gave me nothing but an art book. So, some people do stupid things. Sometimes I do stupid things as well. But let's get down into the gameplay. If you are like me and you're spoiled by next-gen games, you'll probably have to adjust. Like, you probably have to take a step back, bring it back a notch when it comes to gameplay. Because you remember the days when you had to press the DualShock buttons so you could use both analogs, and it's just, you know, it's a little weird. You gotta take a step back, you know, maybe by the time you get to the hotel, you know, you'll be used to it by then, you know, and you notice a lot of things that you didn't notice before in the Silent Hill game, or in Silent Hill 2, like, I never noticed that you had to go into rooms in the sequence to make a key appear. And I forgot what room that was. If you know what room it was, leave a comment. But there's a room that you get a key to the fire escape, I believe, and you have the clock key. When you go in that room initially, if you go in there before the key spawns, there's nothing there. There's nothing in that room. But if you go in there after you've completed the sequence, there's a key and there's a guy who I guess had his face smashed into the TV and the TV's still on. But you have to do it in the sequence. I never noticed that. I don't know why I never noticed that, but I didn't notice it until now. Another thing I didn't notice is that when you clear the area upstairs, the area downstairs on the first floor becomes open, like the door was kicked down, and then the area for the second floor gets boarded off. I never noticed that. I don't know how I didn't notice it. But I noticed it now, and not to say that, you know, because it's HD that I recognize it, or because I play better games now, or like newer games where there's like more detail, you need to have more attention to detail. I don't know what it's about, but I didn't notice that until now. Pyramid Head still scares the shit out of me. The combat is still crap. For its time, it wasn't crap, but now it's crap. Not that I would want them to change it, because if they changed it, you'd have to change the whole thing. Now it's just like, you know, for a game now it wouldn't be acceptable. If a game came out with those type of controls, Silent Hill Downpour, it wouldn't be acceptable. Whereas before, they were acceptable. And I accept it. Which is why I don't complain about the controls being clunky and stupid. Or when you press the RB button or the R1 button, the camera goes haywire above your head. You know, I never really complained about it. Especially when the game had first launched. I think I was like, I don't know, fucking 12. I don't remember how old I was. I just know I was young as hell when the game first launched, and I really didn't have any say. You know, I really didn't have any complaints about it being 12. You know, beating the game, scaring the piss out of myself, having nightmares, going crazy. You know, I was really living James's life. Like, it was ridiculous. There's a part at the end, spoilers. Anyway, there's a part at the end where you find out what happens and what really happened, what really went down, and you start to go crazy. I ended up saving there and turning it off back when I was 12, and I remember this. I remember turning it off and coming back, going to sleep, and I remember dreaming about going crazy, dreaming that I had this, you know, the traditional Silent Hill map, and I was going into rooms, and some of the rooms would change. Like, I would go in one room, and I'd come out, and then the room would be on the other side of the hallway, and I'd go in one room, and that room wouldn't be there anymore, and it'd be purple. You know, the lines that you draw are purple. I remember going through that, which means it's a very immersive game. Silent Hill 3 as well. I feel like Silent Hill 3 isn't as immersive as Silent Hill 2, but Silent Hill 2, I was immersed in that game. I felt like I was James Sunderland. That's just how I felt. So that's why when the new voiceovers come into play, I'm like, that's not what I remember. You know what I mean? It's kind of just weird, like having somebody else speak as Mary or somebody be James is kind of weird, or somebody be Maria, somebody different. It's not what I remember, and it's not what I like. You know, I'd rather have the old voiceovers, which is why I'm glad they gave me the choice, but I still don't feel the point. I still don't understand the point of why they put the extra voiceovers anyway. It's pointless. Like I said at the beginning, if they would have remade the game, you know, new graphics, new gameplay, new shit, then I would accept it. But it's the same game, so you didn't really need to do that. Like, you didn't see Kojima saying, yo, let's put new voiceovers for Snake. You know, that wouldn't make any sense. And it would highly piss me off, because nobody is Snake but David Hayter. And myself. For a game that's only $40, and maybe even less now or used, I would say pick it up. It's a really great game. There's no online features, there's no co-op, it's just a plain old single player campaign with tons of scary bullshit in it that's gonna bug you the fuck out. You know, especially if you're playing with your girl, I would recommend you turn off all the lights. Even if you have a 17-inch tube TV, you know, get your girl, curl up in a blanket and sit in front of that tube TV and watch as she shivers. I dropped it. Watch as she shivers and like shits her pants and tells you to turn it off because it's so great. Like, these new survival horror games suck in comparison to these two, and they really show you why they're the best survival horror games out, or ever. Silent Hill 2 probably being the scariest of them both. But these two games are the reason why Silent Hill 2 is my Silent Hill is my second favorite series of all time. Alright, so I would say give it a shot. If you don't want to buy it, you can go to GameFly and rent it. You can go to Redbox and rent it. You can't go to Redbox, but you can go to GameFly and you can rent it. I would suggest you give this a buy. I would spend the money on it. If you can find it used and you don't trust my decision, just go buy it used. It's a really good buy. You know, it takes up some time. You know, you can enjoy the hell out of it, especially if you like old school games. Like, I'm about to go buy Einhinder. They got it at one of my local game stores out here. I'm gonna go buy it. It's like $40. No, it's $50. Excuse me. I'm gonna go buy it. You know, I got the Shenmue series. I love classic games, and when they bring them back in HD, it just makes me happy. You know, so I would say pick it up. It's $40. I'm DayashaThirsts from GamersWagger.com. Check you guys later. Peace.